is Action Sports Jags. Jags Report Live. Coming to you live from Sneakers. Sponsored by Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys.
And there you see it. That's the schedule that's left. And, man, it's a tough schedule. Tough way to finish for the Jaguars. It starts Sunday with the Baltimore Ravens. Suddenly resurgent Detroit Lions. 2 with Tennessee. The Cowboys. The Jets. And, of course, the Texans are no good, but they seem to have our number right now.
Yeah, they have won 9 in a row.
It's going to be a fun run here over the last 7 as the Jags play some good football.
Yeah, we got the holiday season here. We're back at the beach after the bye week, and good to be here at Sneakers in Jax Beach. Thanks for coming out each and every Monday night on this Thanksgiving week. And we had to bring Jamal Agnew back into the fold because when we had Jamal on the show, the Jags were like 2-1 or something.
Yeah.
We're like, wait a minute now. Let's gotta reel this guy back in.
That's right.
Good to see you, man.
Pleasure to have me, man. When y'all called, I had to spring into action. I know every time I come on the show, something good happens.
Yeah,
so.
Right.
That's right. We needed it.
Hey, Cisco had a really good game, and then he came on the following night. I think you guys know when you're going to be on, you got to have something good to talk about, right?
Exactly. You got to have something good to talk about. If I'm coming on the show, that means something good happens, so I'm going to just keep coming.
That's right. Please do that. Brent Martineau, Dan Hicken, Jags Report Live here at Sneakers in Jax Beach. And let's talk about your season so far. You had a few weeks where you were out with the injury, but you look yourself once again. How do you feel like this 10 games has gone for you overall?
Obviously, I feel like as a team, we're not where we want to be. When we're playing well as a team, that gives me the opportunities to make plays on, special teams. We're getting stops on defense. They're throwing me on offense on, plays. But just as a team, I feel like we're not where we want to be, and we feel like we could be doing so much better. And that's something we talked about during the bye week was, this is where we're at right now. We put ourselves in this position. We got 7 games left. We control our own destiny. So we're just focused 1 week at a time trying to go 1-0, but we really feel like we can make a run.
I want to ask Jamal a specific punt return question, but I don't want to do it right now. So remind me.
I will.
Remind me to get to it because it's a question that has perplexed me for the last few years.
Oh, great. I can't wait
I'm going to get the answer from the expert.
That's a tease early in the show. This is the game plan.
It's time for the game plan. Sponsored by TIAA Bank.
Get in the end zone, right? Get that offense, keep it going, and stop making some of the mistakes that have hurt this football team. Dan, there was a stat going into last week. The Jags were second in the NFL in first downs. Maybe I shouldn't ask you. Jamal, second in first downs.
Yes.
Like, you're moving the football. So many good things. Yeah. Just obviously not enough points on the scoreboard. A few tweaks here or there, and your record would be different.
Yeah, that's a lot of what we talked about this week. During the bye week, you kind of self-scout, where you're at in the season. We're doing a lot of great things, and it's just like you talked about in the red zone, we got to get better. I think we have the most turnovers in the red zone in the NFL right now, something like that, top 5. And that's just not good enough. We pride ourselves on scoring in the red zone. So offensively, that's something we got to do a little bit better. The turnovers in general. So, we self-scouted a lot this week, figured out the things we needed to get better at, and, we're looking forward to it.
Maybe having Jamal back will help the red zone because they often need that speed. They like to run that little reverse to him, little sweep to him, and he can break it. So I hope that's part of the game plan going forward. Tell him to run that, would you?
Yeah,
like the Indianapolis game.
I'm always trying to get some opportunities out there. Whenever they put me out there, I'm gonna try to make the most out of it. I don't go pressing for it or anything. Just let it come to me.
I think we're seeing the development in front of our eyes of Trevor Lawrence. Now, obviously, we just had a bye week, but the last 2 performances, I think it's just looked different, Dan. Even different than weeks 2 and 3 when the numbers were good and the wins were there. I think he looks more comfortable. What do you see? You've been around this kid now for a couple of years. Are you seeing what we're kind of seeing?
Yeah, everybody knew. Obviously, generational talent. He's got the traits. He's got the the ability. It's just he needed the reps. And, you can see as the season's going on, he's just getting better and better. And we just see that confidence starting to come out. Raider game, he's talking a little bit of trash out there. Yeah. But that just comes with the confidence he's building. And then, we got guys like Kirk, Zay, Mar making plays, Travis making it a little bit easier on him in the run game. Obviously, our offensive line is playing really well. But obviously, we got to clean up a lot of things in the red zone, just like getting off the field or getting, conversions on third down and everything. But you can just see the confidence continue to build for him.
Well, let's take a look at some of the stats on the wall that says it all. Look at this is what you're doing. Right. Remember now, this year, and block your ears, Jamal, this year for everybody else, the franchise was about the development of 16, right? Yeah. Like, do they have the guy going forward?
Yes.
And you really, Dan, you're starting to see it. 16 touchdowns overall, by the way, if you count the rushing touchdowns, which I think we have to do nowadays, don't we?
Well, I think so. And the passing yards are better. And And, Jamal, the completion percentage is better as well.
Yeah.
That's a key factor in today's NFL. You've got to be accurate, and he's doing that.
Oh, he's definitely doing that. And I feel like the coaching staff is putting him in a really good position. You know, quick throws, get the ball out of his hands quick, get him in a little rhythm. Even just like efficient, like movement, play action type of stuff. They're putting him in really good positions to, keep building that confidence over the game. Obviously, some stuff happens over the game. We run the ball a lot. So, we're going to run the ball really well. Try to build off of that with the play action. And they're putting him in good positions.
Well, let's go to the other side of the ball for our power play of the week here coming off the bye.
Power Play of the Week, sponsored by IBEW Local 177, powering Jacksonville since 1912.
I remember the Jags need some more turnovers, right? On the defense, they had like dry spell. Well, Andre Cisco leads the team with 3 interceptions, Dan, and he delivered a couple of big hits last week against Kansas City, too. But we're really seeing the development of Andre Cisco back there, too.
Another young guy, right? And he's really in his first year as a starter, and he's playing some good football. And he also had the pick 6 against the Eagles.
And he also has less money in his bank account.
Oh, we told him. Because you put me on the spot, just in case.
$1.
My guy.
Yes, that's
My
$1.
guy.
That's good.
Get things started.
Only need about 14,999 more of those coming up.
That's not true.
No, there was actually a minimal fine of $6,600. Now here's
it like 6612.
It was something.
Like, how do they put 12?
I don't know, but I don't know how they get to 6,600 for a hit that you didn't get flagged on. And here's the deal, Jamal. Last week on the show, Andre was like, "I'm not going to get fined. I didn't even get a flag." I said, "You're going to get fined."
Yeah. See, I thought the rule was if it was flagged on the play, then you get fined. But apparently not. If it looks bad enough, I thought it was a great hit.
Obviously,
I'm biased, but
yeah,
we thought so as well. And we're biased too, but it looked like a good football. Have you ever been fined?
I've been fined a couple times.
What'd you do?
My rookie year, I got fined for taunting. I was scoring, and I turned, and this is before Tyreek was doing all the peace sign. I turned and waved at somebody, and I got, I think it was like $9,000. It was crazy.
By the way, I talked to a player this year in the locker room that said they got fined for their pants being up too high. $7,000, by the way, for the pants being up. $7,000.
By the way,
NFL will come
your
get you.
rookie year, $9,000 is.
Oh man,
not good.
I was hurting.
Yeah.
I was like, I seen the envelope at my locker. I was like, what is this, guys? And they're like, open it. And I opened it. I was like, no way.
That's a bit $9,000 right there.
You get time off during the bye, and coaches are the same way. And how we handle it really can affect next week for sure, but it can also set a standard for the rest of the year.
Doug Peterson gave the guys about 4 days off during the bye week. He's a player. He understands it. He knows what this time is. You guys aren't even really hitting as hard at practice. They're a little shorter now. The days are shorter. And players love that, Dan. You would have loved that.
No. I want to ask Jamal my punt return question because this is perplexing.
Say hi to those guys first.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah. Welcome back to Sneakers, everybody. All right, so in the old days, if they're kicking from the 50, say, right? You would put your feet on the 10-yard line, and if the ball goes behind you, you fair catch, you let it land and go into the end zone. But you don't seem to do that anymore. I watched a game, even a college game Saturday. A kid tried to catch it and dropped it, went behind to catch it. What's the
What are you taught?
idea? What are you taught now?
So, I mean, it's really heels at 8.
At the 8.
I mean, everybody's rules are different.
Is it because the punters
10.
kick it with such spin now?
Yeah, the punters are so good nowadays. Like, we have one in Logan at pinning it down inside the 10. But there's some situations where they don't hang it up high enough for, the gunners to get there in time. So it would be like sometimes maybe you go back to the 5, catch it, and you can get 15 and 20. So it's just like it really goes back to being a good decision maker.
Right.
It takes a lot of reps, to be honest, but, I mean, you see a lot of guys out there taking chances, muffing balls, and it's just like, I'm never going to put myself or the team in that position, to be honest, just because I've done it before.
So no hard and fast rule anymore, though? Like, in other words, we trust you, Jamal, so don't mess it up.
There's no set rule. It's really heels at the 8. If it's going over your head, let it go.
Right.
But really be a playmaker, but also make a smart decision and don't put the offense in a bad situation or give the defense or the other team the ball. Inside the 10.
You can tell you're good at it, but also have the IQ for it because I love watching him fair catch and then run way over here and the ball's way over there. Like, that's a smart play, right?
Yeah.
You have nobody there to down the ball.
Right.
Let's take a look at our drive of the day, which is really like drives of the season.
The Drive of the Day, driven by your local Ford dealers.
Well, here's the deal, Dan.
Yes.
This is one thing I love about Doug Peterson and what he's been able to do with this offense and why it gives you a lot of hope moving forward. Yeah, the red zone has been an issue at times. Scoring has been an issue at times. But the movement is not. I mean, we're talking 10 plays, 12 plays, 15 plays, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes. I mean, these are long, sustained drives. That's good play calling and a lot of good execution in there.
And I remember the one against Kansas City, for example, at the start of the second half where they chewed up. And what that does, it also, Jamal, keeps the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially against great teams like that with great quarterbacks and great offenses, you got to keep them off the field as much as possible. And that's what we went into the game thinking is like we got to sustain drives, which we have been doing all season. Especially, I didn't even know we took 10 minutes off the clock. Like somebody, after we scored, somebody's like, "Dang, it's only 5 minutes left." I was like, "Wow." So that's something we pride ourselves on is long, sustained drives. Picking up first down. That keeps their defense on the field, wears them down a little bit, keeps the offense on the field.
I can tell you, this is a hard thing to do. And defensively, people have the philosophy: go ahead, see if you can do this right here.
And you stay patient enough and not make a mistake. And teams now would rather you do that though than hit 1, 2, or 3 plays and score.
Yeah, that's good stuff. We'll see if you guys can keep that up. 7 games to go and try to add to that list.
So many fans tell me all the time, it's like, I love what you do on the football field, but I just love who you are as a person. And it's like, man, I just try to be myself and be the best version of myself. And be authentic.
Oh, the big fella comes back home here on Sunday. Calais Campbell, of course, plays now for the Baltimore Ravens. This might be it for Calais Campbell, which means one more go-around for Jags fans to see old number 93, a fan favorite from over the years. Welcome back to Sneakers here in Jax Beach. Jags Report Live. We are back at it. Brent Martineau, Dan Hicken, and Jamal Agnew.
Yeah.
Ravens pretty good, Dan.
They are pretty good. I said this earlier. They have led every game by double digits. They blew some early leads, and that's the only reason why they have 3 losses. They also are playing 4 straight 3-7 football teams. So hopefully they'll be a 4-7 football team after Sunday, Jamal. But that's a good football team you'll be playing.
Yeah, no doubt. We started watching them a little bit today.
Yeah.
Obviously, we glanced over them during the bye week. We kind of use that just to recharge ourselves mentally. But, I mean, we know who Lamar Jackson is coming in. He's former MVP. Obviously one of the most dynamic playmakers in the league. So, defense got, their work cut out for them this week. But, we got confidence that they can, go out there and get some stops for us. And offense, you look at their defensive front, they all look like basketball players. Speaking of Calais, he's 6'7", 6'8".
Yes, he's huge.
They got Jason Pierre-Paul, who's about 6'6". So, we talked about today. They got guys up front who could, rush the passer. They got guys in the secondary that can make plays. So, we got our work cut out.
It's just pretty wild, too. You think about all those guys, JPP and Calais and Roquan Smith they just traded for him. These guys have played a lot of football, and I still think that's the one thing you can't quantify with this team, the Jags. Not everybody's played a lot of football in the NFL. Still a pretty young team. But you know this, too, you can play with anybody. You've proven that. I mean, you gave yourself a chance last week against the Chiefs, who might be the best team in the NFL right now.
Yeah, no doubt. We feel like we could play with anybody in the league. Obviously, our record's not obviously we're not getting in the win column, but every game we've either led or, been in the game in the fourth quarter. So it's just like we feel like we could play with anybody.
They have analytics for everything nowadays, and I saw one recently, and they measure the health of a football team over the year, and the Jags were number 1 in the NFL in health.
Wow.
And we've seen that all year, right?
Yeah.
When the injury report comes out on Wednesday.
And even right now.
Yeah. It's like one guy. How are you doing?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting my juice back. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
But, strength staff's doing a great job, keeping everybody strong, keeping everybody out the training room. Doug's doing a great job taking care of us. Guys taking care of their body. So, it's a testament to all of that.
It's a long season, so you can be healthy this time of year. You can put yourself in a pretty good position to win games. Let's bring in Action Sports Shack's Olivia Tassley. She has more on some of the injuries around the NFL.
This injury report is brought to you by Flagler Health, orthopedic specialists.
Gator product and now Falcons standout Kyle Pitts is out indefinitely. The tight end is believed to have suffered a torn MCL after this morning's MRI. Meanwhile, the Giants have also lost 2 top players with similar injuries. Cornerback Adoree Jackson with an MCL sprain and wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson with a torn ACL. I spoke with Dr. Garrett Schwartzman over at Flagler Health Plus about the recovery timeline for these injuries.
With ACL, usually that would require a surgery, which we call ACL reconstruction, and that has its own recovery process after surgery. Usually returning to play is somewhere between 7 to 9 months to a year even, depending on the player and rehab and how they're feeling. Whereas in MCL, there's various grades. So there's grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3, depending on how much the ligament is damaged and how much it opens when you examine it. And those have varying return times as well, usually 2 to 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks-ish for a grade 2, and then 6 to 8, even 12 weeks for a grade 3.
Will have a second opinion before deciding what's next, but it's more than likely his injury will require surgery. As for the Giants, Jackson should be back sometime in late December or January. And Robinson, well, his rookie season has come to an end. For the Flagler Health Plus Injury Report, I'm Olivia Tasley, Action Sports Jax.
All right, where are we going with Sunshine and Rainbows?
Why are we still pop?
Well, because I just wanted to say at least this was an Urban Meyer's November and December. Things are changing in Jacksonville. The culture's good with 7 to go.
Okay.
So see you, Urban.
All right.
All right, and I wouldn't even ask Jamal to comment. And then we got a young core right now, right? Got Trevor and Etienne and Tyson Campbell. Got guys to build around now. We need more guys to play well, like Trayvon Walker.
I see feathers of a turkey.
Oh, and that's Thanksgiving.
Is that what I see?
It's Thanksgiving. Is Doug going to give you guys Thanksgiving off or what? You get to eat turkey or what?
I think we get that opportunity, spend time with our family, go eat some turkey and stuff like that.
Right.
Maybe hop in one of those little turkey bowl football games on the side.
Don't do that. Stay healthy.
Now listen, if you have no place to go on Thanksgiving, you're always invited to the Hicken household or the Martin household.
I appreciate that. I really
come on over. We got
the food's probably better at the Hicken household. Just to let you know. So
I appreciate the honesty.
We have a record 27 coming, so one more will matter.
You might want to come to our
Slide
place.
right in.
That's too big of a crowd. You'll be signing autographs all night there.
That's true.
Hey, let's check out what Florida's.
It's time for What Floored Us, sponsored by North Florida Epoxy Floors.
This is the story about what's going on around the NFL today, right? I mean, the Cowboys are a big story, but the Jets and Giants are in a big market, and they got issues. The Jets have issues. Zach Wilson, this guy could have easily ended up in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I still think they should have taken Justin Fields second if it wasn't Trevor, right? But he could have been, and he looks like he's struggling a bit, Dan.
Well, you're a year and a half in, and it's tough on a young quarterback, and now you're playing in New York, and you make mistakes in the press conference and the post-game shows as well, and that's not a good thing when you're not playing well. Accountability is such a big thing, right, Jamal? I mean, you just got to own it, and whether it's almost, and if you're a quarterback, whether it's your mistake or not, as the leader of the team, just put it on your shoulders.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like, whatever position you play, accountability is everything. It's gonna give it that respect to your teammates, coaching staff, the fans, most importantly. But especially playing quarterback, you got to take accountability if you're not playing well. Never put the blame on anybody else. I honestly feel like starting quarterback in the NFL is one of the toughest things to do.
No doubt.
Playing in New York, huge media, so you got a lot on your shoulders.
They averaged 2.77 inches per play
seen that
in the second half.
That's a tough film to watch.
Yeah, that's tough. It won't be very long, but.
No,
so what you're saying is the media here in Jacksonville is just fine, pleasant.
I know you guys are great.
See, the media guys want the badge of honor we wear is we want to be known as a tough.
Yeah,
that's
tough
the
guys.
tough question.
Actually, we don't care. It's sunny here in November.
We
you know
love
what?
Florida.
You can have that, New York. Hey, man, go play well the rest of the way. Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Always have fun when you come on the show.
I always appreciate y'all, man. Thank
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving to you, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. We'll be at Sneakers once again in Jax Beach each and every Monday throughout the remainder of the season with various guests on. And it's pretty foggy over the bank right now, isn't it?
See everybody at the bank on Sunday. Let's have a good game.
Yeah,
let's go.
Let's go on a run. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching the Action Sports Jags Report Live. Coming to you live from Sneakers, sponsored by